Hi,
friends!
everybody.
Hey folks, I'm Tina Hui and we're here with a great guest today. It's Jackson Palmer! You have to
Hey,
introduce yourself.
everybody.
Well, everyone, this is the creator of Dogecoin.
Thank you for the nice introduction. I'm happy to be here.
We're happy to have you. So many questions to ask you. Thank you so much for the time. What's going on with the Litecoin Dogecoin merger for starters?
Yeah, it's crazy. Well, that all went through earlier in September. So AuxPow or auxiliary proof of work. So what that means, like in a nutshell, and other people have called it merge mining, is that pretty much any coin that's based on Scrypt, which is the mining algorithm, can all submit proof of work to the same blockchain and then kind of get every coin. So it's like if I'm a Litecoin miner, I can submit my proof of work to Dogecoin, Peseta Coin, all these other coins that are merge mining underneath it. I like to think of it as kind of like an alliance of all the Scrypt coins. So it's pretty cool. What it means also is that all the coins benefit from the overall hash rate and the network security. So for Dogecoin, that was a really big help because our block rewards are going down over time, and so now we've got like I think nearly over a terahash, which is just insane. So it's worked really good, and I think it's kind of pumped up the price a little bit. I've noticed the Dogecoin. I don't keep track of the price very often, but I noticed that it's gone up.
Yeah, I've noticed it. That was my next question. If you think that's attributable or if it's the GoCoin PayPal thing that's going on with Apple Pay.
Yeah, well, I think so. First up with the AuxPower stuff, we actually have a lot of fans in China. It's huge. Like Dogecoin is just huge in Asia, actually. And if you actually look at some of the like trade volume that's happening, more than 50% of it's happening like between Doge and Chinese yuan, which is just crazy.
Right.
And so I think there was a lot of like people weren't too confident in the future of the coin because the hash rate was kind of dwindling, and they're like, you have to do something. And so like by doing AuxPow, our developers did a great job, by the way. So like hats off to them for it's harder than you might think because what you actually have to do is get all like the Litecoin pools to start doing it as well. So you have all of these like huge organizations of miners who have to like get together and say, yep, we're going to start merge mining Dogecoin. So the community outreach there was crazy. But I think what it did was because now the network's secure, people are like, okay, Dogecoin's going to be around for the long haul now. So we'll continue to invest in it. And I think on the couple of days after there was like a huge spike in the price, there was something like 6.8 million US dollars in trading in 24 hours, which is just insane. Like the trade volume is like nuts. So yeah, it's exciting to see that people are actually using their Dogecoin and trading it. Because I think what really saddens me is when I see like a digital currency that's just sitting around and not being used. So
Right. There's actually well, it's hard to say that, but I think it is kind of conclusive to say there's over 100 coins now, and a lot of them just sit there. So
yeah,
um,
yeah, a lot of people guess and think that the price is going to go up, and that's the kind of motivation they're holding. But ultimately, I think the success of a coin is going to be around like if there's hundreds of different stores that I can use it at, and so that kind of nicely segues into what you were saying about GoCoin and PayPal. I think that's awesome. So that was like big in the news yesterday, I think, and
and
that was
last week and
yeah. Well, what's really cool about it is like most of the news was centered on, hey, now PayPal will let merchants accept
BTC.
Bitcoin.
Yeah.
But it actually, because we partnered with BitPay, Coinbase, and GoCoin. And GoCoin are really cool because they actually accept Litecoin and Dogecoin as well as Bitcoin. So what that means is through the merchant program that PayPal has, merchants can now accept Dogecoin and Litecoin at their stores way more easily, which is pretty cool.
That must be exciting for you. You're like, what if you actually go into a store and you're like, oh my gosh, I could pay with Doge?
It's
But
awesome. No, it's really awesome. Like, hopefully, there's heaps of online stores. One thing that I like to see is like actual online goods, like being able to buy games and music and all of that stuff. Like, I want to be able to like pay for my like Spotify subscription with my Dogecoin tips every month. That would be so cool. Or my Netflix. Imagine being able to pay for your Netflix every month with your Dogecoin tips. Like, and maybe you're getting tipped because you're recommending cool stuff on Netflix. Like, that's the kind of like ecosystem that would be really, really awesome.
oh my
So
god, that's awesome. Someone should
yeah,
build
so I
that.
think like integrations like that would be really cool. So like I think there's Apple Pay, which is also coming out. I think when that gets released to developers, it's going to be really cool. Like a lot of people think, oh, well, Apple Pay is just going to be credit cards, but it's not. You have their integration with Stripe, and as Stripe start to get more into the Bitcoin cryptocurrency space, I think you'll start seeing Stripe enabling Bitcoin, Dogecoin, Litecoin, all sorts of digital assets to be sent through Apple Pay. So then you've got like tapping phones together and stuff, and it's going to be awesome.
And all the apps, all the different apps. I mean,
Well,
Stripe's...
oh, absolutely, yeah. It's going to be cool. It's going to be, imagine if you're like in Uber on your phone, and it's like, do you want to pay with Dogecoin or Litecoin today? Like that would be freaking awesome.
Well, I think what's great about how you set up Dogecoin in particular is because everybody's tipping it all the time now because it's just so much easier. So.
Well, yeah, it's getting used, and I think there's always coins moving around on the network, and what that means is that another person every day has the ability to spend that, and there's things they can actually spend it on, and that kind of incentivizes me to continue using it. Like when I pay for something and I get physical goods, I'm like, awesome, this is actually worth something because I was able to get X. Like I was able to buy, like I bought a jar of Nutella with Dogecoin, and it like sits on my desk at work, and it's like my reminder of like I haven't even eaten it yet because it's like my reminder of like digital currency actually having some sort of value because a certain number of thousand of Dogecoins were worth a jar of Nutella. So yeah.
Well, I mean, what if it starts molding because you're not opening it?
I'm gonna have to check the expiry date on that.
You should just eat the chocolate and then turn it into a planner.
Oh, I could do that.
Yeah.
Top idea. Okay, cool. I will do that.
We're gonna have to check
It's a
in.
really big jar as well, so it'll work well. Okay.
We're gonna check in on that and be like, "How's the Nutella plant going, Jackson?"
I like it. Okay.
And then you have to draw Shiba Inu. So why is Shiba Inu on that topic?
Why is Shiba Inu? Because Shiba Inus are obviously the cutest dogs. I shouldn't say that because of No-No, sorry. No-No's super cute.
Yeah, he's gonna be offended. He's like, over there frowning.
I like all dogs, but there's something about the Shiba Inu. They have such an expression on their face. They're able to like convey emotion, I think, very well. So, and it's just the Doge meme. So I love it. Like, I have like 1,000,001. Like my entire Tumblr dashboard is just dog blogs, and it's really cool.
Oh, I love following all of it.
Oh yeah, yeah. I think I was showing you recently. I met Marnie the dog, which is like one of my lifetime achievements. To meet a famous internet dog. And I've met No-No as well. So.
Have you met Boo though?
I haven't met Boo. No, I know, but I think Boo's from San Francisco. So.
Yeah, she works at Facebook apparently.
Oh my god. Okay, so I have some friends at Facebook. I'm gonna have to go there and be like, I don't want to see you. I'm here for Boo.
Yeah, let me take a picture. Do you hear that? He's like, I want to tour Facebook. Where's Boo? And
Boo is like one of the main attractions for me. Like, yeah. Who needs a social graph when you've got Boo? Come on.
Well, I mean, who's got a bigger social graph, you or Boo?
Boo, obviously Boo. Boo is like super famous.
Dogecoin is famous. Did you know that a friend visiting from Germany actually had the meme on his phone and had no idea it was related to Dogecoin?
Really?
Yeah, he was like, it's the meme. And I'm like, you don't know what the meme's about?
It's funny. It pops up all over the place, and I see it, and I go to people, and they're like, "Oh yeah, I love Doge," and I'm like, "That's so funny." Like, it's just kind of an icon now, I guess. It's very internet, so yeah.
Has it been very surreal being the creator of Dogecoin?
Oh, obviously, yeah. It's insane. I pinch myself every day, but yeah, it's fun though as well. Like I try to keep everything lighthearted because one of the things I find with technology, like I've been doing technology software for quite a while, and if you don't keep it fun, well then you just aren't motivated to do it anymore. So I think one of the big things you got to keep doing like is not lose sight of the fact that everything you should do in life should be a little bit of fun.
Oh, that's a really good incentive to continue being fun with work
Exactly.
and tech and everything. I mean, what kind of started you creating Dogecoin? I mean, how did that happen? Did you just start tinkering with the blockchain?
Yeah, that was just like an initial interest in Bitcoin. I remember, I tell this story all the time, but I remember back in 2009, somebody told me about it, and it was still like back in the days when you can get all these coins, and I'm like, yeah, I'll download it. I downloaded it. The blockchain was like a gig or something, and I was like, I was at my parents' place, and they have slow internet. I'm back in Australia, and so I was like, I can't be bothered with this Bitcoin thing. It's never going to take off. And then flash forward like 3 years, and I'm like kicking myself. But yeah, I got into it. Got into Litecoin, Feathercoin, and was just kind of like, this is cool. I love the technology side of it, but it was kind of a little bit too serious. Like
Yeah.
lots of trolls and lots of like elitists. So that's why I was just kind of like, hey, I'm going to invest in Dogecoin. I was just kind of making fun of people at that point, but then it became clear that there was actually something that people wanted. Like people wanted to be able to go to a party or go to a conference and have fun with people rather than sit around and talk about like whether Bitcoin's going to be $10,000 in 4 years or something like ridiculous like that.
I think you're really onto something there because the internet is all about people
Mm.
ultimately, and then I think that's something people forget is you have to get along. It's nice to have community and support one another, and not always sit there and be angry
No, you're
with
right.
one
Yeah.
another.
No, you're
So
absolutely right. I think often people, because they're sitting behind keyboards, forget that it's other people on the end of the internet line, I guess. And so,
and people have feelings.
yeah, people have feelings, and people are just like you and me. So it's kind of cool. That's one thing that's really interesting about Dogecoin is you meet people that you've like interacted with online in the Dogecoin world, and it's just like you already know them. You're just kind of like, yeah, you can talk about stuff, and yeah, people are in it for the community, and I don't think that's something that like other like Bitcoin really gives. So it's cool. I think everybody that's into Dogecoin eventually gets into Bitcoin as well. I find is so like, and
There's a
most
lot of overlap, I think.
yeah, yeah, and like most Bitcoiners at first were like, "Oh, this is a joke. I'm not going to get involved in this thing." But like, I think everybody I know that's in Bitcoin now is like kind of into Dogecoin and thinks it's fun and has a bit of fun with it, right? Like, so it's yeah.
You're keeping things kind and fun, which is awesome because that needs to happen more. So thanks. I say thanks. The trolls scare me. I'm like, trolls. I don't know what
Yeah,
to do.
there's too much of that stuff going on like online right now. There's the internet is full of people with some pretty bad opinions and people that just. But I think a lot of it is because the internet lets a lot of people be anonymous and say some stuff that they shouldn't. So the cool thing about Dogecoin is we all also have events and stuff. And I know you and I were talking recently about doing an event. So I'm hoping we can have a big Dogecoin event soon because
Oh, big one? We could do a really big
yeah,
one again.
yeah,
Dogecoin
why not? Like
again!
Dogecoin again, Dogecoin 2,
Yeah, we're planning it,
Doge
folks.
harder. Yeah, it's gonna be awesome.
Get your holiday Doge outfits ready.
Yeah, no, I think I always have a heap of fun when we have those events,
Oh yeah, we
and
do
it's really
concert
cool.
style.
Yeah, I think it's also bringing people together that usually wouldn't come out to an event or something like that. Like some people are like veterans in the like internet conference and all of that, but there's a lot of people who just never get the opportunity to kind of really go to something like that, and so it's really awesome to be able to just have a welcoming space that people can go and.
Oh,
So yeah,
it's so fun. Did you
yeah.
know that we had even like 10-year-olds that are at DogeCon?
See, that's awesome. That's awesome. Yeah, there was a similar thing recently in San Francisco that it kind of had like the same vibe, which was GamerX, which I've been involved with, and it's kind of like the LGBT gaming conference. They've got another one coming up next year, but it's just really cool, like to have a space where there are no trolls, there are no people that are being jerks. It's just like everybody coming together in the name of fun. So
Oh, that's
that's
awesome.
ultimately what Dogecoin's about. So.
Oh, speaking of that, what do you think about Twitch? I mean, would you ever play maybe we could find some integration for Doge and then we could play to Twitch together?
Well, so Doge Tipbot launched on Twitch, I think, a couple of weeks ago, and it's really cool integration. I've been into a few. I like that there's a list of people that you can kind of check on dogetipbot.com, I think, and it's a list of the streamers that are actually on there. And so you can go in and you can watch people playing all sorts of games. Like I went in on there and some guy was playing poker, and so I like tipped him like a whole bunch of Doge, and it was cool to just like it's a new medium. Doge Tipbot are doing really awesome things, and so
Oh yeah, I
hopefully,
love Doge Tipbot.
yeah, really cool. And Josh Moland is like the most absurd person I've ever met in my life. So
We love you, Josh.
shout out to him.
I guess that's a good question. I mean, do you have games that you prefer that you like?
Games, yeah, I'm a big gamer. It's mostly kind of like RPG stuff, like action RPGs. I really like. I like FPS stuff as well. So I'm big into the Borderlands series. So that's probably like the best. It's kind of like an FPS with like RPG elements. So that's kind of my stuff.
I haven't checked that out yet. Have you checked out Destiny?
Yeah, it's kind of like Destiny, although I'm like getting mixed reviews about Destiny, and Destiny
Yeah.
isn't on PC, so I'm a PC guy. I don't know. I don't have a console yet. I was actually thinking of getting the Wii U, because I'm a huge Zelda fan,
Oh,
and
right. Zelda. I remember Zelda.
it's gonna be a new Zelda game coming out, and so it's like I'm probably just gonna get that console just for Zelda, but I'm gonna hold off until it's a little cheaper.
Well, you'll have to come by. We're gonna do a whole Follow the Coin Twitch night, and everybody has to switch places playing games.
That's so awesome. We should do that.
Let's do it. We're
Yeah,
gonna
we
do
should.
that soon, folks.
Yeah, we should have like versus games. We should have like Street Fighter and Smash Brothers and stuff like
Right.
that. And you could like, the winner could get tipped a whole amount of Doge. That would be awesome. Yeah.
I
Do it.
remember. What is it? So we could actually hear everybody sitting here screaming and shouting and yelling at each other. That's what happens to me. I play Warcraft and I'm like, no, ah, no, you're
Yeah,
killing
I've had
me.
some sessions like that. I remember back in the day, I was like addicted to on the Nintendo 64 GoldenEye.
Ooh.
That was like my
Temples, grenade
thing.
launchers.
Yes. Well, I was a facility kind of person. I love facility with power weapons. That was my thing.
Oh,
So
you're one of those. Just, I'm gonna hunt you down and kill you.
it was great. I loved it. Yeah, there needs to be more games like that, actually.
I know that was actually the only really good multiplayer game in a
Multiplayer
while.
split screen, yeah, yeah. Oh, Smash Brothers was pretty cool as well, and Mario Kart. They're all kind of classics, but
Hero's
GoldenEye.
decent, but
There was something about GoldenEye which I've never played another game.
oh, sorry. That's
Uh-oh. No, no.
no. Sorry. No, it's okay. Intruder alert.
He's just upset that I said it, the sheep Inus are the best type of dog. That's
I
it.
know. Look at him. You're making him sad. I'm so upset. Come on. So we're gonna do games. It's gonna be awesome. And then, what cool new things are happening in crypto, in your opinion?
Yeah. Well, I think first up, we already talked about it. So the PayPal stuff, that's absolutely awesome. My number one thing that needs to happen in Bitcoin and crypto in general is mass adoption. I think Apple Pay is actually going to be our ticket if we do it right. Because then you can have kind of like this layer that's built into everybody's like phone, and it's going to be easy. There's a lot of different things. Some people are calling them like app coins, but I think like an ecosystem of apps that are using crypto or crypto technology and public blockchain stuff to like decentral web. I think that stuff's kind of on the horizon. There was this social network released recently called Hello. I'm not it, but it's the like we're not Facebook. Wait, we have no ads. But the problem is it's still centralized. It's like
Right.
sitting on a server somewhere, which is a real shame because like a decentralized social network would be pretty damn cool. So that's something I'm actually working on. I'm working on trying to build a decentralized social network. Is something I'm gonna do.
Ooh.
Yeah, I'm just playing around with it at the moment.
Well, you just
I'm
like
still-
put
I'm
that
on-
in there. What's it gonna be called?
Yeah, I don't know. There's no. It's a stealth project, if that's a thing. So yeah, it's gonna use it's gonna use WebSockets and crypto. It'll be cool, but
Are you gonna have
It's
crypto
gonna-
chat enabled?
it's not gonna be chat. It's gonna be like think about like a decentralized Twitter kind of.
Cool. Very cool.
Kind of like that. Like everybody has a stream that's essentially associated with a public key. So it's kind of like your public key is your identifier on this social network.
Is this
But
your
the thing
own
is-
project, or is it
Yeah.
like yeah?
Yeah. I'm literally like coding it right now.
Wow.
But yeah, it's gonna be cool because no data will ever touch a server. It'll all be peer to peer. So
Like Skype, but
that's-
not.
yeah, exactly. Like there will be no. The only thing that'll touch a server is like brokering a connection between essentially two people's IP addresses, and then everything then is an encrypted line between the two. So it'll be like I have like 500 people I subscribe to, and then every like minute or so, my computer will go off and ping those people and say, "Hey, have you made any updates since I last checked?" And it'll say, "Yep," and here they are, signed, and then bang, I'll get them. So
awesome.
it's cool. Like no information ever touches a server.
So, are you
Yeah.
gonna have stored information, or no? Is that not gonna be a thing?
Yeah, absolutely. The way the protocol could work is that like you could subscribe to anybody. So although it's a decentralized network, you'd probably have people that would like show up. It's kind of like torrents, right? So like there's people that are seeding a torrent, and then you have torrent indexes, which are people who are essentially tracking where these torrents are, how many seeders, how many leeches there are, right? So you could just set up like essentially a bot that would like scrape everybody's thing, and then you could have an easily accessible index, like a history of the network kind of thing. So
Oh, wow.
yeah, it's still like kind of mostly in my head, but I'm gonna get there and build it. And I think that's the kind of technology that crypto, like, we just like stumbled upon currency as the first thing. Like whoever Satoshi was like, yeah, I'll take on currency, which was probably not a great idea because it's like the biggest thing to take on. It's like the biggest and most challenging thing that's like regulated, relies on like all this government compliance.
I
Like
know.
probably would have been simpler to just use the blockchain for a social network as a start, like.
But no,
So
he was thinking
yeah,
mass scale.
he was thinking big. He was thinking big, and I respect that. But yeah, I think people are starting to realize that decentralization, as internet connections get faster, and that the technology gets better, we can start to own more of our own data. And yeah, I think you'll see all sorts of things. One thing I want somebody to build is decentralized DNS. So
Oh, yeah.
yeah, because ultimately the internet now relies on centralized DNS servers and an authority. And there's already a few different things. There's a few like meshnet programs where people are setting up like liberated DNS. Yeah, exciting stuff ahead. That's what I'm focusing on.
Well, yeah, I actually, so I just lost my keys, or they were, I don't know what
Oh,
happened. So I wish Mark Andreessen's idea that there's going to be blockchain keys on your mobile phone and it's only attached to your identity and your fingerprint would be amazing for someone like me.
absolutely. I think that's where the Apple Pay stuff comes in. Like, if somebody can build in, like, I haven't seen the dev kit yet, and I don't think it's released. But if you could have a thing, or essentially it's a deterministic wallet that's generated off your unique thumbprint or maybe a retinal scan.
Ooh,
Well, then
yeah.
it would, yeah, exactly. Like, unless you're gonna lose your eyes, which I'd hope never happens to anybody, you're not going to lose your eyes, right? Like, that would be pretty cool if you had it generated off, like, something to do with your iris. Like, that's probably doable today. So
That's Mission Impossible style technology right there, sci-fi.
it'd be pretty cool, though, I have to say it, just to feel really cool. But yeah.
Yeah, it'll be awesome. I actually would sign in for that because then it doesn't matter where you are. You'd be like, oh wait, I lost my key. Open the key. Come on, old door. So
Well, yeah, that's actually the only problem is people could steal your private keys by taking. That's the tricky part with retinal stuff.
I know.
Yeah.
See, how do you? This is stuff you're probably sitting here kind of like scrambling about all day long, right? Like, what about
Yeah, well,
this?
when I think of ideas like that, because this is always the thing, is like you think of ideas like that, and you're like, that's really cool. Why has nobody done that? And so like now I've like wired my brain so that it instantly plays devil's advocate, and it's
Right.
like, how could this be exploited, and yeah, that's the problem that people would take photos. But you could combine the retinal scan with like a 4-digit like pin, and then you'd be away. Like,
It is funny that when you go to one of those ATM kiosks, I was just at a RoboCoin, and then I was just like,
yeah.
the keypad is just still so huge. People can see you inputting it. It's like, that's my
Oh
phone.
yeah, that's a good point. That's a good point.
Needs to be
Yeah.
like, down here. So yeah, it's interesting. I mean, the blockchain technology is fascinating. So
Yeah, it can be used for so much stuff, and it's like even the idea of like the Bitcoin blockchain technology itself isn't just the only blockchain technology. There's all sorts of like there's Hyperledger, there's Monero, which is based on CryptoNote, Tendermint, which is going to come out soon. These are all different blockchain technologies built in different languages. It's just like the spark, like the thing that Satoshi ignited was, hey, using crypto, it's actually possible to do this. And so now people are just like, okay, we just need more developers and more people to actually build stuff. So
well, what would you say to somebody like me who doesn't know how to code but wants to learn how to code fast?
to learn how to code. Well, what's really cool is so everybody that comes to me is like, I want to learn to code. They're like, what should I learn? I say, well, learn web, CSS, JavaScript. That's like the big three. Most people are familiar with HTML, CSS that I know because they were like around hacking up MySpace layouts back.
Oh yeah, I know
back in the
HTML.
day. But yeah, awesome. So there you go. You're already like one foot in the door. So you then go on JavaScript. You've done that. That's kind of like lets you build browser-based applications. And in the past that wasn't enough to get into Bitcoin, but now there's like a bunch of cool services that are coming around. Like, have you heard of like Block.io, Block.io?
Yeah.
It's like a hosted like APIs for secure wallets. There's also Coinbase's Toshi, which is really cool. These are all like hosted like APIs that you can tap into and build an app without having to like worry about knowing any backend stuff.
Oh,
And so
I'm
if
gonna
you know
go
any
tinker.
JavaScript, like you'll be able to write a couple of lines of JavaScript and generate a new wallet, right? Like that's all you need. And you can do that with just a basic HTML page from client side. And so, yeah, I'd tell everybody to go to like, there's this thing called Code Academy.
Right.
Just look it up and do all their courses, HTML, CSS, JavaScript, learn some AJAX for JavaScript because that's how you'll be like hitting up like the Toshi or the Block.io service. Yeah, I like people are building all sorts of. When we had HackerDoge, like a couple of months ago now, a lot of people were using Block.io to kind of like easily, quickly build stuff because it like does all the grunt work for you. Like you simply say, hey Block.io, send this to this, and then send me back. Do it in a multi-sig. They have like signature transactions now, which is crazy. And it just does all the hard work for you and sends it back saying, yep, all done. Like it's really convenient. So learn web technology, build something cool. Like most of the cool things, like you look at services like Satoshi Dice or like some of the gambling sites, or even just like online shopping carts can all be built using just HTML, CSS, and JavaScript now, use on the back of one of these services. So there's
Amazing.
nothing stopping anybody. Like if you're a web developer, then yeah, jump in.
All right, we're gonna do it. I'm gonna create something, and then everyone's gonna say it's
Do it.
broken in 8 different places, Tina.
It's all right. It's just money.
No big deal. Oops, sorry guys. At least, well, I'll give it all back. That's for sure. That's what we learned about Mongox and KNZ Miner and everything. Everything's kind of, the feds are just hammering down on the system.
Absolutely, absolutely. Well, that's supposed to be one of the cool things about crypto is that it's meant to be secure, and so if you use if you're careful about the security and use like trusted methods, that's why it's really cool to use these services because they're doing all the hard crypto work for you, and you get to like not have to worry about that because when you roll your own crypto, there's all these different like vectors for it breaking.
Right.
And so these services like make it pretty much foolproof. Like, yeah.
Awesome. Thank you for the pro tips.
Awesome. Yeah.
I think they're going to be really handy. And then, everybody will start developing apps and then we'll all say, it was all your fault, Jackson.
All these insecure apps, just blame it on Jackson, blame it on the Doge guy.
Yeah, they're going to be super secure because you told us where to go to make it sure we do things
Exactly.
right.
Block.io and Toshi, Toshi.coinbase.com. Awesome stuff.
Well, thank you. Bye, guys.
Bye, guys. It feels so hilarious to do that, but awesome.